Okay, so hello Mia, can you hear me?
Hello, teacher.
Hi Mia,
Hello,
nice to
teacher.
meet you.
Yes, nice
My
to meet you
name
too.
is Jack. I'm from England, from the UK. I'm an English teacher. Can you quickly introduce yourself? Tell me, where are you from? What do you do? What is your job?
Oh, it's very nice to hear that you are an English teacher. It's
Uh-huh.
a long time to speak with the English
Uh-huh.
like you. Uh, Handsome teacher too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, from Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yes, Mia is my nickname for learning English only.
Great.
Yes.
And what is your job? What do you
I
do?
work as I work as a sales woman.
Awesome. Cool. And what
I
about
work
in your
I work in publishing house. Yes,
Interesting.
I like reading and I like to learn English.
Cool, good, nicely said. What about in your free time? You like to learn English? Anything else you like to do? Anything for fun?
I often read books and watch movies in English.
Great, nice. Any movies you like?
I like gender or I like gender love films. Uh,
Romantic?
yes, I often watch movies on Netflix. Uh, yeah, I like family films, was for me and my children too.
Perfect. Nicely
Which
said.
yeah. Mm.
Good. We have a few more students. Let me say hello first. Hello, Huang. Is it Huang?
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Huang. Where are you
Yeah.
from? What is your job?
My name Hương. I'm from Hanoi, Vietnam, and now I'm working as an accountant for Coca-Cola Vietnam. And it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Huang. Thank you for coming. And
Yes.
finally, Lee. Hello, Lee.
Hi, teacher. I'm from Taiwan. My job is a banker.
Great. Nice to meet you too, Lee. Thank you for coming. Well, today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about business and business news. First of all, we're going to talk about some skills you need in your business, why you think it's important. Then we're going to do a listening. We're going to answer some questions. And finally, we're going to do some networking. We're going to talk to each other and we're going to have some conversations about work. So, first of all, I'll start with Mia. Mia, can you tell me what are some important skills for your work and why do you think they're important?
To be thank you for your question. To be a saleswoman, I
Yeah.
think the most important skill I should have is confidence.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
I I should have a skills in speaking and listening to my customers.
mm.
Yeah, I show my confidence in my communication skill and my specialties.
Good.
Yeah,
So, communication, talking, communication to
yeah,
clients, communication in the company, or everything?
yeah.
Who is easier to talk to? Talking to clients or talking to the company?
I think it's not easy to talk with clients
Mm.
and coworkers too. But
So,
if you are confident, you can win half, um, 50%.
good. So, yeah, just confidence is the key.
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Yeah, well said. Excellent, yeah. Um, Huang, how about you? What are some important skills you need for your job
Yes.
and why?
AI sharing. I'm an accountant, a receivable accountant. So I think the skills which important for me is the patient hardworking and honest. Because I usually work with numbers, so I think I have to do trust with them. Yes,
Mm.
and I have to work with customer and colleague.
Mm.
And I think a good communication with them is effectively about my job.
Mm.
Yes.
It's a similar communication, most important.
I think communications is the most important because if you communicate with another better, you will understand more about job, about
Mm.
the problem which you are deal with them. Yeah,
Mm.
you deal with customer or colleague and understand what you have to say, what you have to do.
Good. So it's not just about talking, it's about listening as well. You need to be
Yeah.
able to listen.
Yes.
Yeah, good. No, I think you're right, Hong. Listening is a very important skill. Sometimes we forget. Good job.
Yeah.
And Lee, how about you, Lee? What are some important skills in your work and
Um,
why?
uh, I working in the retail banking, so every day I need to face my client. So I think communication skill is the most important skill for me because I need to teaching client how to use the ATM machine and how to use the internet banker. So I think communication is the most important. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, communication, communicating with clients, and I guess um, what are some of the main problems? What are some of the main things you have to teach about? You mentioned ATM and
Uh,
bank accounts. Anything you always
Sometimes,
see?
yes, sometimes they need to use the ATM machine to
Mm.
transfer money, but they
Mm.
don't know how to operate the ATM machine. So I need to teach them. Or sometimes they just want to log in their internet bank, but they
Mm.
forgot their user ID or password. So I need to help them to reset the password.
I see. I see. Yeah. Internet banking, technology always sometimes makes life easier and harder sometimes. Yeah.
Yes.
Good job, ladies. Really good answers. We're going to keep going. Next section is the listening section. So I will share my screen. The listening section title is called Establishing Connections Through Business Communication. Okay, so first of all, we will listen. No reading, only listening. Tell me, what can you hear? What is this article about? Let's listen.
Why learn to effectively communicate in business? Business is about people. We exist to serve people with our products and services, to employ them and pay them to do work, to purchase the supplies and merchandise we need to operate. To be in business is to be surrounded by people who interact with you, who require something from you. Communication is the connection between people. As long as one person is sending a message and another person is understanding it, communication is happening. To be successful, you'll need to be an effective communicator. You need to be understood. Recognize the elements of communication, the pattern of good communication, the types of communication you're likely to see in the workplace, and the kinds of tools you can use to effectively build and deliver your message.
Okay. So I'll start with Mia. Mia, what did you hear there? What was he talking about?
Sorry, teacher. I heard not all of
That's okay.
but I can hear the skill in business the, that the teller says about communication.
Good.
because the communication is the most important part in business, because business is business related to people, and people do business need communication.
Good.
Is that?
Excellent, Mia. Good job. That's right. Well said. So it's about people, and all business is just about communication. Well said. Really good. Huang, agree, disagree? What did you hear? Anything extra?
Yes, teacher. I heard that the articles talk about the ways of business communication and the relationship about the people and the functional of the business communication, and how to communicate. Yes, and the last is the elements of business communication.
Good. So giving you a few tips and how to do it, and some a little bit of advice as well as how important it is. Good job, Huang. Yeah, nice listening.
Yes.
And Lee, what did you hear?
I hear the main idea of the article is communication, and communication is you send a message and the other people understand you and understand what you are talking about, and then you can make a connection.
Good. So it's important you can understand you, but maybe they can't understand you. It's the most important thing to learn. Good job. Really, really good. So let's have a look at some words. It's too bad. I'll ask you guys, can you see any words, anything you're not sure about in the article? I think it's okay. We can have a look in a minute. No? We're going to do one more listen and read, and I want you to think about some questions while you're listening and reading. First one, what is business about, and why? Why does it say it? What do you need to do to be an effective communicator? And what are some elements of communication? Okay, so 3 questions. Take a listen, take a read, and see if you can think of the answers. All right, let's go.
Why learn to effectively communicate in business? Business is about people. We exist to serve people with our products and services, to employ them and pay them to do work, to purchase the supplies and merchandise we need to operate. To be in business is to be surrounded by people who interact with you, who require something from you. Communication is the connection between people. As long as one person is sending a message and another person is understanding it, communication is happening. To be successful, you'll need to be an effective communicator. You need to be understood. Recognize the elements of communication, the pattern of good communication, the types of communication you're likely to see in the workplace, and the kinds of tools you can use to effectively build and deliver your message.
Okay, any questions, guys? Any questions? No? Well, let's see how we do. I'll start with Lee first. I'll go Lee this time. Lee, what is business about and why?
According to the article, business is about people. So business offer service to people and offer products. So they need to make a good communication between people and product. Connection between
just between
yes.
people, right? Yeah, just good
Okay.
connection between people. So they serve people, they sell products, they sell services, they employ people, they buy things from people, and yeah, all about people in business. Mia, what do you need to be an effective communicator?
Oh, there are two things I think you need to do be an effective communication. One is you or should understand what communication is happening. It means you understand the partners what the partners say, and you need to be understood by them.
Good. So it's all
The
about
second
understanding.
thing, the second thing is that the tools of communication. You should use two communication tools that you and your partner can use together to understand each other.
Good,
Okay.
yeah.
There are
Really.
two things to make the communication is effective.
Nicely said. I think you did a good job there. So listening and communicating effectively is really important. Make sure everyone is understood. Huang, what are some of the elements of communication?
Yes, I think the some elements of communications you can see in the workplace, and some kinds of tool you can use to effectively to build and deliver your message, such as email or chatting, writing. I think the two elements important is speaking and listening.
Yeah, so you're right. It's different when you're speaking to someone or when you're writing in emails, two different types of communication. Good. Yeah, no, I think you're right. We're going to keep going, guys. Does anyone have any questions before we continue? No? Well, we're going to keep going. Let me stop sharing. So we're going to go into two groups now, and we're going to have a couple of conversations so you can talk to each other. First, in the chat, I put some questions. Okay. Click on the question box. Click on the question box. Copy the questions. Then we go into groups. Say hello. Introduce yourself, and have a conversation. Have a conversation. Ask a couple of questions. Answer. Talk. Other questions. Okay. Question answer is not so good. Try have conversation. Okay. So copy the questions, go to groups, say hello, and finally have a conversation about the questions. Okay. Let's try together. So let's go. Okay. Hello, Huang. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Just 1 second, Hong. I'll come back. Let me check the other group. Let me just check, okay?
Oh, yes, I will let the. Oh, yeah, yes.
Hi. Oh. No.